Hi there, welcome back to the Everyday Artisan. I am Jackie and I welcome you to a rainy day at our cottage. Our family shares this wonderful place with extended family, and a big part of our entertainment is playing games. And so today I wanted to talk to you about the nature of play. Play is so vital in our self-development and our connection with others, and there are many ways to play. We can see that children get completely lost in play. Their own little selves literally disappear and they become one with whatever the environment is. And we too can enter that state through play, but our play looks a little different. Sometimes we play alone and sometimes we play with others. Play is any activity that you become imaginatively involved in. It is something you do willingly without being told. It's actually the opposite of being told to do something. And when we engage in play, your brain literally starts to light up and we start to enter a state of what can be called flow. And flow is many things for many different people. It is that state where you completely lose yourself, you lose your sense of time, you forget all your problems, you are completely present in the moment, which is extremely nurturing and helpful for your own self-development, your own personal well-being. And when you engage in play like this, where you have kind of lost yourself and you've entered this state of flow, your brain is literally lighting up, it's glowing. And the more activities you try, the more likely you're going to find an activity, a play activity, that will light you up in that way. And that is one of the reasons I started this channel. I love playing with crafts. All the time, every day, literally. If I don't engage with my crafting for several days, I find I get grumpy. And then I go, oh right, gotta sit down, gotta do something. The more activities you try, hence part of what I'm trying to do with this channel, offer you many different activities, the more likely you're going to find one that helps kick in your imagination, helps you enter that state of flow. And when you do find an activity that you really love, that lights you up, do it again and again and again and again. Play often. Play alone and play with others. This week's project is a painted board game. I first saw a cloth board game when I went to go visit Monticello, and it was the game of Goose, and it's a simple game, but oh, I thought it was fabulous. I could roll up this little cloth board game, tuck it in a bag, bring it on a picnic, bring it camping, and I got to thinking, what other board games could be painted on cloth and carried and easily pulled out to have a game and play a game with my family and friends. And so this week I really am excited to present to you several board games that I have painted in the past and a new board game for us to share today. Break out your paints and let's get started. So this is the game of Goose that I bought, and then this is Fox and Geese, a medieval board game, followed by Gluckshaus, which is a dice gambling game. And finally, Nine Men's Morris, which is a strategy game similar to Fox and Geese. This is some textile medium that helps the paint stick better to the fabric. To find the center of my 14 by 14 inch piece of fabric, I just folded it diagonal to diagonal and just mark the center. I decided to make the game of Brandubh, which is an ancient Viking and Irish game, and I will link it below. And as I left my good ruler back home, I used a rectangular piece of cardboard to be my T-square, so I could measure out a 7 inch by 7 inch square in the center of my fabric that would be the actual game board. I carefully drew all my lines in pencil, and believe it or not, pencil can be erased off of fabric. This was a cotton duck fabric, like a canvas, so it erased quite easily. After I had the board done, I sketched in a design around the four sides. I kind of made it circular, and I used the common theme that I'd used on the other boards, which included a monogram W and some vines and stuff with a vaguely medieval theme. Using a very fine paintbrush and some fabric paint that I created with the Textile Medium and plain black acrylic paint, I started to paint in all of the board lines first, just to set the whole stage for everything else that followed. And once the board was done, I started to fill in all the little details on the center of the board and around the edges with, again, a simple medieval design that I could easily paint with my acrylic paints and my thin paintbrushes. I really love this part of a design project where I'm just kind of relaxing and painting and not thinking too much because I've got the structure already set down and I just kind of get lost in the creation of the sweet little details. Once the painting was done and dried, I cut out the circle and then I cut out a backing piece that I would sew onto it to give it a little more strength. Carefully snipping the edges so that the circle lays out nice and flat when you turn it inside out and press it. Once I had the edges nice and flat and I tucked in the raw edges, I did run one more seam around the entire circle so that it would sit nice and flat. And there you go.